What's good? My name is Rich Jones, and I'm a health and performance coach, speaker, and podcast host, and two-time U.S. Masters Track and Field National Champion. Now, it's been about 7 weeks since I dropped my last episode, so this one is all about what I've learned during this time. And one thing I actually learned about was some comfortable-ass shoes. So I was talking to my leadership coach about finding some shoes to help me have a more stable foundation in the gym when I'm doing things like back squats or front squats. And I posted a reel about this on IG that shows how when I do certain exercises and I look at a video of myself, I'll see that my right foot kind of raises a little bit toward the back and toward the heel. Whereas with zero shoes or zero drop shoes, which zero drop refers to there not being a drop from the heel to the front of the shoe where your toe is, which is most shoes and sneakers that are out there, it's pretty much flat. And so your foot's able to bend, flex, do what it would normally do. And in a short time wearing these shoes, I've realized that there are foot muscles, shin muscles, top of foot muscles that I haven't really used all of that much because of the type of shoes that I've been wearing. And so I found these super comfortable. I found them very helpful in the gym. So I encourage you to check them out too, Xero. And fellas, if you're curious which ones I picked up, I copped the Speed Force. Those are the ones that I primarily use in the gym. Also, if I'm running north-south, not so much east-west because of the ankle support. And then I also picked up the Prios, which I'm wearing as more of a casual shoe. All right, so what I'm really here to talk about today is the experience that I've been having at work over the past few months. I mean, really this whole year, and in some ways going back toward the end of last year and maybe even a longer time period than that. But over these past few weeks, just to cut right to the point, I've been having a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun at work, y'all. I kid you not. For as much as I came on here in years past and talked about entrepreneurship and doing this and having to get out of here and the rat race, that's not what I'm experiencing at all. I'm experiencing fulfillment, alignment, authenticity, recognition. I'm experiencing all those things at a place that I once thought was the problem when it turned out that the issues that really needed to be resolved were issues that were within me. And once I started doing that work, that's when things got easier. And if you've been listening for a bit, you've heard me say that multiple times, things getting easier. If you listen to where I was a year ago this time, actually this episode a year ago this time, I had just had a really painful conversation with my mom. It was right around Mother's Day, just like this. In fact, keeping it real with y'all, I'm recording this on Mother's Day. And on Mother's Day last year, my mom didn't get anything because of a painful conversation I had with her when I was really at the beginning of the trauma healing journey, at least as far as getting to a place of acceptance and grieving what won't be and accepting my mom for the person who she is today. And so to be in the same space where I actually did get my mom something for Mother's Day this year, and also to be experiencing work the way that I'm experiencing it is a testament to all the investments that I've holistically made and that you can holistically make in yourself too. Whether that's working with a therapist, a leadership coach, having accountability partners, massage professionals, other wellness modalities. I've tapped into all of that. Having a track and field coach, I've tapped into all of that so that I could ultimately create the life for myself that I want. And when I work with people, it's the same thing. How do we tap into the various resources that you have access to so that you can create the life that you want? But yo, for as much fun as I've been having and as much as I've been enjoying work and the projects that I've been working on, I also struggled at the same time. Now you might be wondering why things are going well. Is it another situation of getting what you want and still not being happy? And no, that is not it at all. I am happy. But the question that I had for myself was, am I taking the easy road? Am I reneging on a dream? Because it wasn't too long ago that I thought entrepreneurship was going to be the way, and that's the path that I was heading toward because of everything that people told me and all of the folks who believe in me, who think I should be on stages and doing this and doing that. And I'd even created this pressure for myself around Mental Health Awareness Month, which is quite ironic because this is the lane that I'm in now. And so I should be out here. I should, that word that I tell us to be careful about, me, myself, I was saying I should be cashing in. I should be getting speaking deals. I should be getting these opportunities. But yo, getting those things requires work. It requires consistent effort. It requires 100%, 90%, 80%. What it doesn't require is 20%, 10%, and that's what it feels like I've been able to give it. Now, you may just listen to the podcast, but you might also know if you visited the website that the bigger brand power in this thing is called Find More Balance. And here's the thing, that's a lifelong journey because you're never going to find perfect balance where things are just right where they need to be at all points in time. I realized that in this phase, if I'm leaning more into work because I'm seeing the results that that's providing and I'm seeing what that's doing for my overall happiness and satisfaction. But as a result of doing that, that's going to mean that I don't have as much time for other things, or that I'm choosing not to spend as much time on other things because I'm prioritizing what I deem in that moment as most important. And when you know that you're working on what's most important, there's really not much you can be upset with yourself about. And it took me a little bit to get there, though. I'm not going to lie. It took a conversation with my own coach to get to a place where I could say, yo, it is okay to prioritize what I think is important, even if I think multiple things are important, especially if I set the goal for myself. And that was the thing with this. Even though I set the goal for myself a few months ago, yeah, there were some things I had in mind in terms of money that I wanted to bring in and how this might help jumpstart the momentum in terms of other things that I want. But what I really wanted to do was lean into my day gig because I've been seeing how powerful it's been when I'm fully engaged and fully present and fully showing up and taking more space. Good things are happening. And those things are going to happen here, and they've happened here in the past. I'd say I spent a number of years where what I did online was probably more of a priority than what I was doing by day, even while I had a lot of other stuff that was going on in my life. But in this stage, I'm like, yo, this is where I'm meant to be. The way things keep happening, the way it feels like stuff is just showing up in my favor, there has to be a reason for this. But I'm still looking back saying, this is not where I thought that I was going to be. In some ways, it's further ahead, but this isn't the path that I thought that I would be on. And then when I sit here and think about all those goals and everything that I'm setting and why I'm really upset or why I'm really feeling what I'm feeling around this, and it's not so much anything to do with me, there's external factors that are involved. I'm thinking about the appearance of success for people that I've worked with in years past and for people who've been following my journey and are wondering like, man, when are you finally going to pop off? I still get that question every now and then. When are you going to pop off? And it does create a little bit of pressure because I'm like, man, I thought I was doing fine. You saying like, oh, you think I'm good enough? And that whole good enough, that's a whole other episode that I could probably do. It probably will be an episode. But just imagine you constantly hear these positive things from people and where they expect you to be, and then you start believing it too, and there's nothing wrong with believing that. But I think there came a point where I shifted from what I truly wanted, which was to lean into this work experience that I've really been enjoying versus holding on to what I wanted at a different period in time. Some of that because of guilt, some of that because of shame. But I noticed once I got to a place where I could say, yo, this is what I need to do right now. Maybe this is so easy because this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And maybe the other stuff is so hard because it's not, at least at this point in time. And also, there's a part of me that's used to things not being easy. That's part of what the continued healing and trauma work is for. You spend a lifetime or what feels like a lifetime of things not being easy, waiting for the other shoe to drop. And so when you have a period of sustained goodness, you worry, you find something to occupy your mind because you don't want to get caught off guard when the shoe drops. So I know that's at play too. And I know that's not just at play for me. There's a lot of us out there like that, where when things feel easy, we feel like we're not doing enough, like we need to be doing more, like it needs to be a struggle. Everything doesn't need to be a fucking struggle. It doesn't. It doesn't need to be a struggle to be meaningful. It doesn't need to be a struggle for you to feel good about it. It doesn't need to be a struggle for you to rest. It doesn't. Sometimes you need to take the road of least resistance because that's the road that you're supposed to be on. And that's the message that I have for you today. So wherever you are, you may be on your path, you may be experiencing some resistance, and I'll tell you, there are things that you're gonna have to do that you're gonna feel resistance around all the time. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to drop those things, but if something just over time, you feel like you just can't seem to do this thing, but something else is just coming so naturally and easy to you, maybe you should look into that. And maybe you should look into what is it about the thing that you feel like you're banging your head against the wall on? What is it about that? Is it about something that you can change? Is it about an external factor, or is it about a feeling? Is it about something that you don't want to admit to yourself? So that's really all I wanted to do is come back and say on this episode, because, you know, when I go away, I come back, I reflect, all of that good stuff. But yeah, I'm good. Podcast is still here. I've been finding more balance in my own life. And as I mentioned, when you're doing that, things appear more, some things appear less, some circles get bigger, some circles get smaller, but it's all about a period in time, right? Stuff is constantly shifting and we're constantly adjusting. Nothing is guaranteed and we're flexible with everything else. So why not be flexible when it comes to what we want for ourselves and the goals that we set? There's a difference between a failed goal and realizing that a goal no longer serves you. So that's all that I got for this episode. I want to thank you so much for listening. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it. You can share it on the Facebook. You can share it on the Twitter. You can share it on the Instagram. You could share it on the LinkedIn. You can share it via email. Share it somewhere and be sure to drop by findmorebalance.com, where you can learn more about working with me as a one-on-one health and performance coach, whether you've got career challenges or you're trying to get your health in order for the first time, or maybe for the third or fourth time, and you could use some accountability, or you're looking to try something new because everything that you've done so far hasn't gotten you the results that you've wanted. You can visit, again, findmorebalance.com to learn more about how to work with me, and also to subscribe to the email community, because that is one thing that I've been working on in the background. So if you haven't done that, haven't heard about that, be sure to go to findmorebalance.com. Lots of good stuff there. Again, that's all I got for this episode. I want to thank you so much for listening, and until next time, be well.